Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Canadian Marketing Team. Today, we're going to be talking about the 21 reasons why 80% of businesses fail and how you can beat the odds. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop showing my face right now. What we'll do is we'll just focus completely on today's presentation. All right, so let's do that. There we go. All right, now let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Please put your cell phones away. We don't want to have any distractions for you. This is a serious business. You're here today because you've kept yourself accountable to your business and you want to make sure it moves to the next level. It's no joking. If I'm going to be here spending time with you today, away from my family, and you will as well, we want to get the best of today, absolutely. I'm going to ask you to go to this URL right over here, and I believe I might have that URL already open. I do not. So I'm going to ask you to type that URL in. Just take a couple of moments. What I can do is I can just go like this, go to the second page, grab this for you guys, and I can start from the current slide again. I'm going to put that into the chat right now for all of you. There we go. I'd like for you to go and grab that workbook. I have the workbook up as well, which means that today you're going to get quite a bit out of the session. Grab the workbook. It's a Word document. It is for your use only. Do not use it for your own business needs. It is proprietary, please, and thank you. Next, you're going to see on the very first page, and I'm going to show you just a bit of an overview of this right now, right over here. You can see that section number 1, we give you all the 21 reasons. We're going to go through all of these right away, and as I'm going through each of these and explaining them to you, I'm going to want you to take a few notes for yourself. You can print this off right now, or if you're listening to our recording, you can pause it, print it off. And then what I want you to do is I want you to rate yourself and just do yourself to follow along with this. This is going to be quite a bit of information that's being thrown to you. So I'd like for you to please realize that you will be able to implement a lot of this information later on. Next, we do have a special offer at the end. So you're going to have to stick around to the very end. It's a special offer that really, when you find out what it is, you're going to realize that you're lucky and happy you stuck around. It's going to truly, truly help you out. So there's no rabbits out of a hat. I just want to let you know that we're also here to see if we can work together. Let's not pretend. You're here because you're in a business that needs some marketing, maybe needs some sales, maybe needs some business resources. Maybe you want to avoid these 21 reasons. So that's what we're here to help you with as well. This is kind of an interview for both of us. So let's get back over to the presentation right over here. And we're going to talk about who is the Canadian Marketing Team and who am I? Well, I work for the Canadian Marketing Team. I am their senior marketing coach. And a number of years ago, I was kind of headhunted and I couldn't say no. It was an opportunity that was perfect at the time. And I've dedicated myself to the Canadian Marketing Team for my family, of course. I love what I do. You can see the passion. I speak with passion. And that's what I look like. So yeah, we're going to stop looking at me pretty quick. Here's my son. It's a younger picture of him. We're sending you guys kisses. And we have a loving family. And I do this from a place of caring because I know that what businesses need in order to move forward. We need structure, but we also need to have a balance in our personal lives. And here I was mentioning that I was a professor. Here's Douglas College saying this is confirming that I was a professor between 2008 and 2010. Which was a trainer facilitator, which is kind of fun. And back in 2007, I started with Leader Global Consulting. I purchased one of their licenses. They operate in 20 countries. They're going strong. I mean, this is one of the greatest teams to be with. I'm so happy to have been given a testimonial like this from Carl. Thanks, Carl. 2 thumbs up. This right here is Alex, and Alex worked with me with doing presentations at Douglas College. And this is just Alex saying that I'm a good guy to work with. And everyone that you're going to find that I work with, they're pretty much going to say the same thing. I'm a pretty consistent guy that when I'm working with you, I give you my all. And there's a couple of people that will say or can say yes in the chat in regards to that, ideally. So I train coaches also. So what I did is I ended up getting the rights to have other coaches that I work with. And we got a number of coaches. Now these coaches are working internationally. And in our first month of working with Tyler, we made him 40 grand. So the first gap, the first problem, first mistake on your workbook, let's take a look at it. It's no written goals or plans. So these are the kind of plans that you need for your business. The business plan is necessary because you're most likely going to want to raise money for your business. If you're not in the process of raising money and it's what we call a bootstrap, which is basically you've got some cash and you just want to get your first client. You want that first client to pay you for the next one and the next one and the next one until you build that up. That's a marketing plan. A marketing plan, in our opinion, is the very first plan. It's a strategic marketing plan and a strategic sales plan. So if you don't have one of those, write that down as one of your goals. You need to have that done. It's absolutely imperative. The business plan, as I mentioned earlier, it's one of those things that once the marketing plan is done, the marketing plan just kind of goes into the business plan. That it's all depending if you're in the process of raising money with investors and what you're planning on doing, or maybe you're going to go to the bank and raise money. I actually got a government grant for my first business back in 2001, and the government paid for me to go to school. And it was all because I wrote a business plan. And I ended up becoming part of a business plan review committee and helped specifically out with marketing plans. You also want to make sure you have written goals and targets for your business. And typically with the people that I work with, we have something called a SMART system, the S-M-A-R-T system. That's a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic timeline. We're going to be talking about that in just a moment. And so in that system, we've got it all broken out where you actually are working on your monthly goals and you're working on your weekly goals and you're working on your quarterly goals. And we've broken it all out so that you're able to actually see what you need to do. The breakthroughs that I see with individuals going through this process, it's how come I do this? Once I work with a business owner, they're never the same again. And if you've ever worked with a coach, you know that you're never the same again, especially for the ones that put in the time, that put the extra effort, that give you that little bit extra. Next, you want to be making sure you have some kind of succession plan, depending on where you are in the business, and of course, some exit strategy. So here we talked about specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-framed. There's a study in Harvard, and all of you probably know about the study, but if you don't, it was a 40-year study. Some say it was different university, but I believe it was Harvard that did this one. Some said Princeton, I think I saw once, but I did some research. It was Harvard. And so 3% of the most successful individuals that were earning 10 times more than everyone combined, they had written goals and plans. Now, the 13%, remember, they were earning 10 times more, written goals and plans. So that is the number one gap, guys. And don't take it for granted. In my early days when I just started doing this kind of stuff, I took that process for granted. Goals, everyone's got them. Who needs to set them, blah, blah, blah. My clients were successful, but not as successful as they are today now that we focus specifically on this. Time is the greatest teachers. And especially when you're achieving goals, you get to see what really works. So the lesson here is be the 3% that writes goals down and make sure that you write them down every day, following the specific, measurable, achievable or actionable, realistic, and timeline. And we're going to be having a chance to talk, and I'm going to want to see how you're implementing that. And that's essentially what our system is. It's simple, but at the same time, it's absolutely in depth, especially when you're going through the cyclical process of marketing and business on a year-to-year basis and a month-to-month basis. These guys here, the 13%, were earning a couple times more than the 84%. And the 84%, of course, they didn't have any specific goals. They were not earning as much. So the lesson is SMART, but how do you use SMART? We're going to be using SMART throughout the entire process here today. And that's what's kind of cool about this. So go down to your time management and mark yourself on how you are with time management if you could. Now, the reticular activating system. What is it? It works. If you don't know what the reticular activating system is, it's the attention center of the brain. And if you notice, I have here mortgage paid in full. All of us here know exactly what that would feel like. If you don't own a house, just imagine owning a house and have it mortgage paid in full. That's exactly what we want. We want to have and I'm saying that as a reticular activator because the reticular activator is the unconscious process of our brain that when we start focusing on something that somehow the outside world catches on to that, like musical vibrations or something. And we start to see that. Our attention center of the brain starts to focus on these things. I remember when I wanted my BMW. And man, I searched for that BMW. I asked BMW enthusiasts. I wanted an old classic. I wanted something that was good. I mean, like I really did 4 years of research, and I tell you that BMW was on my mind all the time. If you guys remember that old Volkswagen commercial, the one where the Volkswagen's growing on the guy's head until finally he's driving it, that's exactly what the reticular activator is. And all of us has had little tiny hints of this reticular activator. Like for instance, if you think of someone and all of a sudden they call, that's that kind of stuff happening. And this happens on a bigger scale for our business. So how do we implement the reticular activator? Simply by writing our goals and what we want and what we see happening every single day, every single week. Writing a to-do list. My to-do list, I'm working on it, a physical one every day. If you guys want a copy of that, you let me know and I'll send it to you. I really want to see your business succeed. The moment it succeeds is the moment we can work together even more. So, not having written goals, you've heard it all before. We all know if it's not written, it isn't real. The R.A.S. is the attitude programmer of the brain. You got to start using it. That is what we focus on. And goals help us with our R.A.S. It works positively and negatively. We've seen it work negatively in people's lives. All of us have. They make bad decisions or they didn't listen to our advice. You want to make short-term achievable goals and also long-term shoot for the stars, hit the moon kind of goals, working it backwards. There's not very often I use why in my language. This is one of the times that why does come up. We want to attach a why rather than a how. And also it's like a light switch. It doesn't really matter how it works. We just know that it does work. You have the power now. There's no reason to say you don't understand how it works. Write yourself a goal right now that you want to achieve today, next week, and this month. Just 3 simple goals. It could be as simple as that you want to make that extra phone call. And what if you made 3 extra phone calls to hit your financial goal? And remember, I'm saying phone calls because phone calls are the #1 way to increase your business overall, period. It's the #1 way. If you're not comfortable making outbound phone calls, then I don't think you should be in business. If you're not comfortable talking to people, I don't think you should be in business. But if you are, then you have a chance of being an entrepreneur. And you have a chance of making this reticular activator really work. And you have a chance of working with magnificent people that will support you and uplift you because they too understand the power of it and they're working with it. Now for time management, we're going to give you some ways to improve your time. I work on the goals and I work on the time management daily. It's a daily program for myself. I get up and I say, how can I use my time more efficiently? I try to squeeze out as much as I can. And this is, here, listen to this, guys. I try to squeeze out as much as I can in 15 minutes. And if I have 3 minutes left, I do my best to squeeze out as much as I can in that 2-3 minutes. And that's how you get ahead, guys. It's the desire to become better with that 1 minute, that 30 seconds. How much can you do? Oh, when I have business owners that really understand that lesson, it becomes a real joy. So, daily structure to-do lists. Business systems, you're going to build like standard operating procedures. You're going to create sales systems, marketing systems, step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, along with the letters and the phone call scripts and everything that goes along with it. You need to plan that out in your time management. If you're wanting to build your business out. I spoke with a gentleman today that after a year we've been working together, he goes, Odin, what happens when we're done with a year? I said, oh, I just go month to month. He goes, oh, perfect, because we've increased our profits overall. We're really happy. You're going to get a big bonus. I'm like, wow, well, this is stuff I want to hear. And he goes, I'm a totally different business person. He goes, I am now in control of my time and I know what to do with it more efficiently and effectively. He goes, I just want to keep working with you. I was like, yes. And that's one of our case studies we're working on. So, I mean, that's just one of them, guys. You can do this. If you have the ability to be self-accountable, you can do this even further. So you want to take your time and plan and forecast. So Jason, who's a part of us today from Radiant Freedom, what he does is he said, oh, hey, Odin, I really appreciate the 12-month calendar that you put in for events for the marketing calendar, but I'm taking it out and putting all 12 months in one shot. And I'm like, Jason, that's the evolution of what you're supposed to do. I was like, wow, they're figuring it out, like, and they're implementing it even better than what I can even imagine. And he's got the entire year all planned out, exactly how much time it's going to take to market each and every single thing that he's doing. It doesn't get better than that, guys. He didn't do that before. And that's why Jason hangs around, because he realizes that as I'm getting better, he's watching the process for him getting better too. You really want to analyze your day, your week, your month. And that's what a coach is really going to be able to help you with, is to help you get better with your time management. We do focus on the 80-20 rule. And the 80% of your money is going to come from 20% of your clients. And that is absolutely true. We just got to figure out who those 20% are. And it's true that your 20% of clients will cause 80% of unhappiness. And so if they go away or if they move or do whatever, that's sometimes a very good thing for you. But be aware that this is a scientific fact. It's a law. That's the 80-20 rule. It's all over nature. So what you're wanting to do is you want to maximize your time. How do we do that? By using a system, the system that you have in front of you. So what I've done is I've created this Develop a Weekly Planner. This is exactly the one that we use, guys. Exactly. I'm not hiding anything. So what we do is we develop a weekly planner. We identify our prime times. So prime time sales hours are typically 8:30 to 4 p.m. on Tuesday to Thursday. Mondays typically are not that great, and Thursdays and Fridays are not that great, but there's always exceptions to every rule. And it also depends on the kind of business niche you're in. So this might not be your ideal. We have to figure that out for you. You're going to figure out what is your most productive time as well. When you know your most productive time, you can plan for that most productive time. And we're talking about being effective and efficient when you're using the time for business to work on it instead of in it, so that when you're working in it, what you're doing is telling other people how to work in it so you can work on it. Hope you got that, guys. The idea here is that you start setting up the systems so that people understand that while you're working, this is your schedule. Off work, you can do whatever you want. You can rest hard, you can play hard, do whatever, but when you're on the job and you're accountable, this is what I would really expect for you to do, is to be the absolute best at your time. Open door policies don't work. I've tried them. Better to have some kind of message system on the outside of your door. People write a note on it and they put it into the suggestion box. That's one solution to not have an open door policy. But depending on your circumstance, we'll see how that works. So this is exactly what we do. We plan out our emails, plan out exactly for us on Mondays, we have a lot of follow-up and we have clients that we work with. And then on Tuesdays, what we do is we do more follow-ups. And then we do sales and sales calls and quotes. So guys, it's very simple. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the time. You can do this yourself. Very easy. Start using it. It'll make a difference. Now I've got a different time management process here, or to-do list, I should say. My to-do list is high, medium, low. It says do, dump, delegate, a start date, a done date. And then if it was if it was an email, a phone, a follow-up, or an action. So I've kind of upgraded from this one, but this is a very simplistic to-do list. And I do have a physical one that I write on, and I try not to write to-dos on that to-do list. I try to see if I actually have to do it. Who's the bottleneck in that particular situation? If I'm the bottleneck and I have to do it, then I do it. If it can be outsourced, I try to outsource it. And so that is just a bit of planning and strategy. But ideally, your to-do list takes into consideration your sales and marketing, and your other to-do lists, like your other daily to-do lists or whatever else. I'm not really as interested in that as I am on your marketing follow-up, attending your yearly conference, doing a boot camp, and so on. So I bet you're too busy to make it happen. Well, you're right. You probably are. So there's nothing I can do for you. If you can create new habits for yourself and carve out time for yourself, a minimum of 2 hours a week to work on your business, to do what I'm sharing here with, then you'll have the success This takes 2 hours a week, everything I'm talking about right here to do. You can work your strengths. It took me a little while to understand what my strengths are and what they were, but ultimately I have figured them out. And now I'm able to identify other people's strengths and where they fit so that I can help them, because I can't do it all. Neither am I a know-it-all. And I want to know it all, but I'm not a know-it-all. And if you're a know-it-all, we won't be working together, because I want to work with people that have the aspiration to become better at what they do. And that's the kind of people I love working with. It's all about the personality with me at this point. So you want to set an appointment with yourself to be able to do this kind of work. And I would say that starting every week on Thursdays at this time for 2 hours, you can do it. There's no reason why you couldn't. You made this time today, start making this time every single week to work on your business. We talked about open door policies. Procrastination leads to stress. Absolutely true. We've all done it. They don't lead to better decisions. Michael Phelps and all those Olympic athletes do not leave the pool when they're in the zone. You want to be careful of not to maybe yourself out of business. You got to be pretty decisive. It's a yes or a no. If you're in business and sales and marketing, you know that the worst thing for you to have is a maybe. What you really want is you want to know, should I follow up with you? When should I follow up with you? When can we do business together? We're here to do business together, guys. That's exactly what we're here to do. You want to work on the business, not in it. Working on the business, as an example, is creating a standard operating procedure for a sales process that we have identified so that you can actually sell that to your target market. There may be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. When I start with some of my clients, they only have 1. And then we've graduated to some of them 2, 3, 4, 5 additional revenue sources using the same stuff that they've had. They just think about it in a whole new way. So we've increased their business overall. Next, let's talk about systems. So open up the system page, if you can. You're following along. How long could you leave your business for? Well, this summer I tested it out. I was able to leave the business for quite some time. I did a little bit of work while I'm out, but I mean, like, is it really work when you love what you do? I have to force myself to stop working and just relax, because my brain can be going all the time with this. So for me, it's about forcing myself to stop working. It's a great problem to have. So it would have caused major problems. If it would cause major problems and you don't have those systems, then this is where you can start building systems. We're going to go through some examples of systems in just a moment too. So we'll be able to let's just go through it. Systems save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. What we were able to do is, of many of the business owners that we work with, we hire virtual assistants or assistants in some way, because then what we do is we go and we create a system. And the system is typically it's a CRM system. It could be a system that we put into Agile, for example. It could be a system an Agile CRM. It's a client relationship management system. It could be a mail out system. It could be a Facebook or social media system. Each of those social medias require a system in order to be operated. And it takes time to operate those. So what we would do is we would build a system out for each one of those mediums, and then we would hire someone to do that as soon as we figure out how many hours it takes in order to convert a client to becoming a paid client, someone who pays you for your services for the value you provide. So without them, you don't have a sellable business. There is no exit strategy. So for one of the clients that we're working with, we're building the systems out in such a way that we will be bought out. It's actually not just it's a number of them that we're working on. So that's the systems I like to create. We will be bought out. And there's a couple of people here that are former professors that know what I'm talking about. That's the funnest part of the business, is having them grow and become public. So without a system, you own a job, not a business. But there's some things that you are exceptional in your business for. You can train other people, but until you have those systems really trained, you got to take up the mantle, and you got to be the person where the buck stops completely. Lack of knowledge. Yeah. So does your company promote multitasking or multi-skill and multitasking? Don't. You want to make sure that you are focused on one portion within your 15-minute time frame. Listen to what I'm saying very carefully. I've identified that if you want to get the most out of your day, book in 15-minute timeframes. My Google Calendar is set out in 15-minute timeframes. You can do 30-minute timeframes and hour timeframes, but I find that it's much easier to waste time within those timeframes. If you're really pushing out on 15 minutes, you'll find that you can accomplish what you could typically in 30 minutes or an hour. If you guys have ever watched Star Trek, remember when the captain says to the engineering, how long is it going to take to do that? And they say, it's going to take 3 days, Captain. You have 3 hours. Oh my God. That's kind of what we're wanting to help you promote here. We want you to promote focus in your business, attention, and being able to just consistently follow the system. So that 15 minutes will really make a big difference for you. You can do a lot of different tasks in 4 15-minute schedules. If you want to do 30 minutes of 2 50 minutes of one particular task, you can do that also. But please don't multitask. It's not good. It doesn't help. You know this. It's common sense. I hope it is. And here's another thing with common sense. Common sense only becomes common once it's shared. Maybe someone didn't know it and it wasn't common until it was shared. Now it's common sense. So make sure you share as much of your common sense as possible so that it actually does become common. Do you have a reference library, or do you have just a bunch of books, journals, tapes, and videos? Well, we here at the Canadian Marketing Team, we have a humongous library with everything that you can imagine. Quite frankly, we've got so much that we could have 3, 4, 5 coaches come down here and have enough materials for a couple of years and still not go through it. It's that much materials. It's incredible. But what that does is it gives us an edge in the marketplace. It really differentiates us. So you want to be a person known for your resources. I mean, really, guys, book reports, templates, sales letters. We got 70 gigabytes just on our membership site, ready and waiting for you to go through. Ready and waiting for you to go through. So this is our workbook. And this is exactly what our workbook looks like. We have our coach. We have what are our goals this week. 3 tasks that I completed to make my life easier, because what this does is it allows you to see the things that you have accomplished throughout the year. Yeah, it takes time to do this. This is the time. This is the most important time. It shows you where you're duplicating your effort. It shows you where you can actually build those systems out in the 3 tasks that I have not completed. So what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to structure your training program with your library. Now, we have a sales and marketing process that we go through, and we have the full program already. But I recognize that some of you guys have your own stuff and you want to be able to use your own stuff too. That's cool. Put it to use and then share that information. And this is the system that we've used to do that. There are 3 ways to grow your business, guys. And I've identified only 3 ways. And I go back to these 3 ways on an ongoing basis. Goal setting, time management, smart system. And what are the 3 ways I need to grow my business right now today? Number one is grow your database. Increase your database every single day. Every single day. Your products and services mean nothing. It's your database that will make you wealthy. It's the people around you that will help you. It's the relationships, guys. Increase your unit of sales. Get more products. That's why it's really exciting when we create systems for selling the same thing to multiple target markets. Ooh, that's just lovely. Increase the frequency of how often you offer your services or products. So for instance, if somebody uses your products for 12 months of the year, maybe what you're going to do is you're going to offer them 1 extra service that is not offered throughout that entire year. That's a possibility. That would be a 13th service. That increases your cash flow. And when we sit down for 45 minutes for me to go through how I can increase your business by a minimum of $10,000 or more, and I show you the calculator that we have, oh, you guys, you'll get excited. You realize this is achievable. You can actually do this. It doesn't matter where you are at. Better that if you're a startup, great. That's perfect. If you're 10, 12 years in experience, that's awesome. Everybody needs to have this information. Once this is a foundation in your life, it's great. We've identified 30 different foundational elements that you must have in your business in order to succeed. The 21 here, that's just a portion of the foundation that we want to share with you. And we've broken that out into 52 different categories that you get to go through and build your business up over 12 months. Oh, it's wonderful. Remember though, that our business is not about always finding new clients. That's how you will fail. Our business is about servicing our current clients and helping them achieve success. That's where the case studies come in. We don't want to run a promotion. We want to run a business, and a business is a profitable enterprise that runs without us being there. The owner of the Canadian marketing team has other businesses. Lucky her. You heard me right, guys. I was headhunted by her. And she, by the way, is one of the best bosses. She doesn't want to be called a boss, but that's what she is. So she's running a business, not a promotion. It's exactly what you want to be running. Next on your list is understanding the numbers. So we went through knowledge, and now we're understanding your numbers. These numbers are your key performance indicators. On a weekly basis, I will ask you for your key performance indicators. That will dictate to me exactly how much you need to ramp up your time in marketing, or how much you need to ramp down your time in marketing, or if you need a better conversion process, maybe a better sales letter, maybe a better inbound call script, maybe a better outbound call script, maybe a better email sequence follow-up. All of that. That's part of your key performance indicators. So we want to know exactly how many people inquire. We want to know how many inquiries lead to a presentation. And we want to know how many presentations you do that get to a sale. And that's the very basics for understanding key performance indicators. As a coach, this is how I measure your time. So instead of measuring the race in the sense of seconds, we're measuring your key performance indicators. And the systems that I've been sharing and outlining for you step by step by step, share with you and show you exactly how to get to this. So this is what we work on a weekly basis. And if you haven't done this kind of stuff before, sometimes it's a little bit faster if you do have someone helping you through, at least for a little while. So we want to know your conversion rates, your response rates, your cost of the database, the lifetime customer value, the cost per lead, the call inquiry ratios, and the cash flow versus profitability. Those are the numbers that we want to know. And if you don't know those numbers right now, that's okay. We will work those out together. That's what we're here to do. But if you know those numbers, then you can start creating marketing materials. And by the way, we haven't even gotten to the sales and the marketing part. I'm going to be sharing with you what we do to get differentiation in the marketplace and to actually dominate the marketplace. Because right now the marketplace is saturated with the same kind of people saying the same kind of thing. There are some people innovating, but that's your competition. So what I want to do is I want to help you innovate faster than your competition. I want to give you the tools that you can make the moves and the turns in the marketplace. Oh, that's what really becomes fun, is when you drive the car of your own business and know how to do it. So what we do is we give you the tools to manage your own marketing team and your own sales team. So you can do it yourself if you wanted to, or you can hire a team to do it with you. Here are the calculations that you need to know, guys. The cost of client acquisition. So when we're getting together, I'd like for you to do as much of this. So hopefully what you do is you fill all of this out. And if you fill all of this out and you take advantage of our special offer at the end, then I'm going to spend time with you for nothing, because you spent the time on this. And I'm going to show you how you can build your business with the ideas I'm sharing. You can go and you can implement them and you'll see results specifically for your business. So you got to fill this out, guys. This is the first stage. If you can't do this, we can't work together. It's essentially to see if you're the kind of person that will actually do what you say you will do. That's the kind of people that I like to work with, because the people I work with know that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. They know that I keep my word, even if it hurts me. That's how come I try to make sure I keep my word for things that don't hurt me. So you need to understand all of these things. So let's talk about an ineffective sales strategy. That is going to be reason number 6. That is page number 8 of 26 there. So most businesses have an ineffective sales strategy. They are not really aware if they're selling for pleasure or pain. If you're selling for pleasure, you're going to have a more difficult time selling your product. That's become a lot of our marketing focuses on the initial pain of our clients. the initial pain points, the hot button, and we only press one hot button at a time. And then what we do is we provide a solution, and some kind of special offer. And that's our marketing process. Press one pain button. Typically, most businesses can identify 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pain buttons that they can actually use in their marketing. And we don't want to go and we don't want to assault people with pain, because sometimes pain turns people off. So what we want to do is we just want to identify it. And then what we want to do is we want to create the pleasurable senses of saying, hey, we got a solution. Because remember, your marketing is small salespeople doing the talking for you in writing. And we want to make sure that there's a congruency between what you're saying and what you're communicating in your sales process and what you're sending out there in your messages. An upselling strategy. An upselling strategy is having a base model and then being able to say, but by the way, you can have this, or you can have this as well. Each business is a little different when it comes to that. And so we can figure out specifically what's yours. So most businesses sell on features, advantages, or benefits. Or do you sell mostly on features, advantages, and benefits? We recommend that you sell on value. Value, 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 value. If you think about what is the value the person is getting, it's going to be much easier for you to promote what it is you're doing. We recommend that you sell on benefits. Features tell, advantages do sell, benefits, they're the ones that really convert. That's what shows the value. And we can work that out for your business as well. So do you generate endorsements for your product or company? And recently, actually, one of Jason asked me to send an endorsement. He said, Odin, can I have an endorsement letter? Yep. So we worked on an endorsement letter. And then he put together all the documents and we sent out an endorsement letter. And lo and behold, he's got interest from that endorsement letter. Jason's pretty good at what he does. He's pretty good. Talk to him. So endorsement letters do work. Do it for yourself. There's people out there that want a joint venture. There's people out there that want to cross promote. Everyone here right now, none of us do the same thing on this call. We could all cross promote ourselves very successfully. It would just take a creative way of doing so and an ongoing follow-up strategy. And we're all saying, yeah, that's exactly what it would take. Do you use sales scripts and form letters? It's very important. Start collecting that stuff. And we have all those templates. Not properly presenting the business. So write down 6 feelings you think your business image conveys to your clients. So write down 6 feelings you think your business image conveys to your clients. Then survey your clients and see what they think about your image. And then reinvent your business image based on the feedback. That's a very simple way to start a sales process with people. Survey. So what my friends think I do, I'm drinking wine all the time. What my parents think I do, I'm drinking lemonade, right? What marketing things I do, I'm playing around. The prospects think that I do, oh, that guy's a shark, he wants nothing but my money. You know, I was like, and then what I think I do, I'm actually really seeing growth. Everything's happening. What I actually do is it's true. We all got to get on that phone. I thought that was pretty cool. Good work, HubSpot. So ineffective staff recruiting, training, and development. This is an ongoing problem for most business owners. And by the way, this is page number 10 right now. Ineffective staff recruiting, training, and developing. Do you have a structured recruiting program in place? That means that you know what questions you're allowed to ask. You have the right marketing in place. We actually just recently did a test and measure with one of our ads. We found that it did not produce what we wanted simply because we were too specific with what we needed from the person. What you're looking for is you're looking to hire attitude. Attitude is everything. The ability for a person to do what they say they're going to do is really, really, really good. It's what you need to be looking for. You want to see a person that will treat your business the way you would treat your business. You want to find someone who is just passionate about what they do. And that takes time. And sometimes you need to buy those people. You gotta purchase those individuals. Sometimes you're able to find them young and able to train them and keep them loyal. Sometimes you're able to find them overseas. I found some great overseas virtual assistants that are very affordable and very loyal. And I found other ones that are just the worst with time. And you ask them to do something and it takes weeks. So do you have a formatted, structured training program in place? And that means that essentially when you're training someone from now on, what you're going to do is you're going to just record that training on a YouTube video. Use Zoom. It's free for 45 minutes. Do all your training like that initially. And then what you can use a great program called Temi, www.temi.com. And you can transcribe all of that stuff for yourself if you wanted to. You can edit it. And now you have a training program you don't have to repeat. Do your best today with this training program and look how you can do better with the next one. If you just train for the next 3 people, the 4th one you won't. So just remember that. You can do the training videos now. It'll save you a lot of time later. Do you conduct performance reviews? And so one of the things that we did with one of our clients recently is we created a feedback loop where we took that weekly planner and we outfitted the weekly planner specifically for the employees. We get it handed in Fridays, but it took months of reminders on a weekly basis after the Friday long-term employee to finally do it. But guess what? They're finally doing it. So what? It took months. We all need help. We all need reminders. And we all know it takes months to do certain things, especially if we're creating a brand new habit. If our passion's not in it 100%, right? If our passion's in it, it's easier to create the habit. So do you have a team that is helping you seek out higher learning? And how do you develop your staff? So everything that we do also applies to your staff training and development. Poor delegation. Oh, wow. We've all learned the lesson of poor delegation. So can you identify events when you need help in accomplishing tasks? Don't do it all yourself. Remember, when we were all growing up, mom and dad used to say, put your shoes away, make your bed, do the dishes. They would remind us. It's not that we weren't interested in doing it. It's just that it wasn't on top of mind. It wasn't like our priority list, and we didn't write a priority list, and we just wanted to have fun and play. Good old parents, they said, hey, you got to do this. Well, maybe what they're doing is they were identifying tasks that they needed help with so they can do other things. Maybe parents can look at it that way, that they're helping their children in delegation. So do you delegate milestones that may be entrusted to a staff member? I'm seeing more and more of the people that I work with doing exactly that with their employees, and it's working, guys. And do you designate tasks to the right people? Right? You got to identify what some people can do and what some people cannot. And there has to be consequences. So I had a contractor, I had a deadline, and I said that if you don't meet on this deadline, then we won't ever use you again. That's it. It's not going to happen. It has to be done that way. I want to make sure that when I give something to someone that they can do it. If you make a mistake with time, no problem. I understand that, but you have to talk, you have to communicate. And I think we all expect that here as business owners. Let's talk about lack of effective prospecting now. A good training system for your employees will give you an incredible prospecting system. You can train your employees exactly to do that. Everything to do with sales and marketing can be put in a standard operating procedure. Every step can be outsourced so that you are running the show, but you got to get there first. So do you have referral programs? Do you use direct mail? Do you have outbound telemarketing? Do you have internet newsletters? Do you conduct focus groups? These are all great ways for prospecting. All of this will generate leads, but remember, we want to be spending 20% of our time generating new leads and 80% of our time helping our clients that give us 80% of our money, which are 20% of our clients. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say right there is that we want to spend our time wisely generating leads. We don't want to spend our whole budget, but 20% of our budget spent on marketing is really a great idea. The greatest success I've seen locally was with a business that spent 25% of their marketing budget consistently on a weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis on marketing. And they trained all of their salespeople to do all the lead generation and the sales process. And I tell you, I still talk about them years afterwards because they were just so impressive. 25% is what they were putting in. So if you're not able to put money in, you have to put time in, by the way. So it's a DIY. So you're wanting to make sure you're spending the right amount of time with the right amount of leads. And there's something called an education spectrum when it comes to lead generation. And an education spectrum is, let's say, from A to Z. And so A is someone who doesn't know anything about your product and service. And Z is a person who's giving you money. Just imagine that WXYZ, that 5%, let's say, that's 5% of the population that is ready to buy right now. And that's what most people are marketing for. That's where the market is for most people. If you start marketing in that right there, that's advertising, and you're going to waste a lot of money. What we want you to do is we want you to start at A, and we want you to work your way through the system and the process for effective prospecting so that you understand it's called a sales and marketing mind map, essentially, where we put in what you're going to do on ABC. We talk about where the database is coming from. We go through this full-on process. How do you collect business information? Where do you put it? Do you survey your clients? And I recommend you do. The best way to break the ice is with a survey. I never have call rejection. You guys can see who I am. I'm a friendly person that just wants to talk. And I approach it that way. When I'm on the phone, I'm your friend. Hey, how's it going? I was wondering if you could help me. That is the easiest lead. And if you notice the tonality of the voice, we have to put a lot more emphasis on the tonality. Lead generation and sales, it's a system. You can learn. Definitely you can learn. And you want to be asking for more referrals. So, have you implemented a referral program? By the way, everything we're talking about here, we do all this. And we help you through the whole process. So use direct marketing, using the 4 elements of marketing. And the 4 elements of marketing are getting attention, engaging, educating, and making a special offer. And we do that in everything that we do in some way, shape, or form. It's a value add proposition, and it differentiates from the 5% of people looking for the person that wants to buy now. We don't want them. I mean, we want them, obviously, but we want them before they get to that W, where they're just right now at that buying decision, and they're saying, I want to look around and see if there's someone else. And then we pop up and we're giving them better information. We're revealing the secrets of their industry. Woo-wee. That's what they're looking for, an honest person to do business with. When we find an honest mechanic, an honest dentist, an honest doctor, what do? We stick with them for as long as we can, and we're sad when they retire. And we're all like, yeah, that's true. And when you have to move and you get away from all that kind of stuff, you have to go and find that all over again. You're looking for referrals. Who's the best? Who can I trust? So, are you developing sales scripts for your prospecting? And this is specific. So each of these 21 points needs to be built out as a standard operating procedure. And it's not hard, guys. It's like not overwhelming. You just break it out on a week-to-week basis and you put a couple hours in, and and that's why you have a coach. I mean, there's tennis coaches and golf coaches and there's business coaches. Go figure, right? Are you using social media, your blog, and your newsletter? All of this generates leads, and you want to know how many leads it generates using focus groups. So take a copy of this. This right here is all of the effective prospecting that we would recommend that you do. And we recommend that you do 3. Typically, most people do only 3 of these at any one time. We recommend you get up to 7, and then you add 1 as you can, if it's applicable. I mean, just with search engine optimization alone and getting in all the different web browsers and so on and so forth, that alone will make a major impact in your business. I don't even think that we have SEO here for, I think SEO somewhere in there. And if it's not, we're going to add it. But I mean, really, just that alone is going to take a step-by-step process. So let's talk about your database. And this is the problem we all have. What information are you keeping on your database? How is it collected? Do you know the numbers? And this is where we used the Agile CRM. Now, I want to let you know, I've also used Bitrix 24, which is another CRM. I've also used HubSpot. I have settled on Agile CRM as my choice. I've got a couple of other systems that I've used, Excel spreadsheets and so on and so forth. The real key to your database is keeping it in one consistent place. So what I typically do is I put everything into an Excel spreadsheet, and then I upload that into my CRM. And that seems to be working really well. And then what I do is I actually sit there for each of these individuals, and that's why we don't like in our sessions, 10, 12 people are the best for us because we can follow up with all of you, right? That's what you want. And we want to be able to follow up. So you want to know your numbers. You want to know how many cards you're getting, what is your follow-up, how are they being organized, who have you communicated with, and it's impossible to do it for everybody. So that's how come social media becomes really handy because you can communicate with thousands of people with one post. The ones that are following you, of course, as well. So there's leverage points that you could be maximizing and using. But what is the equation of the value of your database? This is the equation. You can figure it out and let me know. So let's get on to the next one, is categorizing your A-class clients. So that is your target client, which is listed strategically. So I had a client of mine come to me. They're in the construction industry, specifically millwork. And they came to me and they had 2 other marketing companies and they just didn't have the passion that I had, and they weren't able to they just wanted 3 brand new clients. That's all they wanted, 3. So I was like, okay, well, let's figure out your target market. I went to work. I identified 220 local, specifically targeted clients. And every single week, they're getting ongoing requests for proposal. Every week. As a matter of fact, they phoned me in December, just before Christmas time. And I sat down there and I was all nervous and concerned. And they said, Odin, you need to stop. I was like about to break. I'm like, oh my God, no, what's going on? They said, you've done too good. We have too many projects. We can't keep up and we have to turn business away. So we're going to have you work on a couple of our other businesses that we have here. But just for this month, don't do anything. We're still paying you. I said, I'm sorry. I can't work for nothing. You can give me a bonus sometime in the future. I said, but if you're going to pay me, I'm going to do work. And I did, of course. That's just who I am. And I'm getting that in a testimonial, so you're going to be able to see it. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for testimonials and referrals. And as a matter of fact, this individual is now called me up and said, we're not letting you go, man. We want you to work for all of our businesses. And we're going to give you a share in those businesses too. We're going to pay you and give you a share. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, how much does it? It's like, okay, put it in writing, you know? So this is it, guys. You got to identify the strategic database you've got. And then you know what I did? I got on the phone. I just made the phone calls. That's all I did. I just got on the phone and made the phone calls. And guess what? It worked. And I created the first letter and then the second letter and the third letter and the fourth letter, and it worked. It's still working. I'm not even doing anything anymore. Of course, they want me to come back and refresh it. It was January. It was slow for everyone. And I'm going to just ramp it right back up. And maybe what we'll do is we'll hire someone to do that work. Just the simple follow-up stuff. But they have to be exceptional. Exceptional. So maybe you're going to want to find someone to sponsor. We've had some sponsors. Sponsors are great for adding A-class clients to your business. Email compelling offers to your database. That's great. All of these are to-dos. And so remember earlier on when I mentioned that you want to be great at time management. 80% of businesses write their goals. Maybe your goal is to fulfill every 21 of these steps within this next 12 months. To spend the time necessary each week, 2 hours, to take a look at one of these slides and implement it for your specific business. Woo! That would be the greatest takeaway of the day. All of these are to-dos for you. It's not a big deal. I've got all the templates to write those too. It's easy. That's why Jason phones me once a week and, Odin, I want to do this. We pull up a template. We do it within 30 minutes. Jason, do you want to confirm that with everybody? It's exactly what we do this for everybody. It makes your job easier. Why would you spend 2 or 3 hours on a template when I have one already? And I'm a copywriter also. It makes a lot of sense. So you can do it by yourself. That's cool. We have that like, that's why we're giving you this information. But you just got to track it and plan it right. And I want you to succeed, guys. I really, truly, absolutely do. I'll tell you why. I've been in this business for a long time. You saw what Carl said, 2007. Well, guess what? I called the businesses that came to these events back in 2007. 90% of them are out of business. The power of your business is in the relationships, not the products. I'm looking for people that take action to work with. So let's talk about not developing a business network. And that's on page number 12. We're making pretty good time here. So you want to become part of a business association that benefits you, in person and online. You want to make sure you're getting leads of some sort. You want to guarantee you're getting leads. Some event groups or networking groups will give you leads right away, and some will make you grow a relationship with them over a period of time. You got to know which one you're dealing with. There's no such thing as competition. There's only such thing as a cooperation. And we've got to figure out how to cooperate together. There is enough for everyone. There is. There's a desperate need right now for your product and service. So can you enlist your competition to help you? Have you tried to find a mentor or coach? Mentors and coaches have their own networks as well. Some do let you into the network. Some don't let you into the network. Anyone that was here today realizes that if we're online, we have a round table before and after where we can talk about business and do business with each other. That's kind of a unique thing online that usually doesn't actually happen. And we also have it in person as well. So how will you do this? How often and when? And that goes right back to that daily calendar, that 15 minutes. So it's just about taking each of these steps, writing it down that I want to complete this, I want to accomplish this, and I want to do this, and then writing it out which 15 minutes or which 30-minute blocks you're going to do that, and where the resources are going to come from for you to get the template or get the letter written. I remember I do this stuff every single day, all day long. So for me, it's pretty easy. And sometimes I forget that there's individuals out there that need help. And so you need to actually say, hey, I need help. Remember we talked about parents needing help sometimes? Well, I need to let you guys know that you need to ask for help. And it's just a matter of saying, hey, Odin, what do I need to do next for my marketing? We'll go and analyze it. We'll look at it together. You're already working on it. By the time that you're done this 21 list, you're going to have a very good idea, and I'll have a very good idea of what you are doing and where you need help and how we can leverage that and how we can get you money as quickly as possible. Underrating the competition. This is a great one. This is really a big one. Who are your competitors? So I ask you these questions because I want you to put that down on your time management list. I need to find out who all my competitors are. So what is your edge from your competitors? I know what ours is. I know who our competitors are. We get a personal touch and you feel as though you're satisfied after you're done working with me and you want another session. That's pretty darn cool. That is a good edge from the competitors. I know what some of the other competitors do. It's basically online. You get 15 minutes and that's all you get. Well, we go 15 minutes plus because I understand that if I give you 15 minutes, you may not get what you need done, that fulfillment of actually having this particular piece ready to go so you can send it out as a lead generator or as a follow-up piece. So what is your edge? What are your competitors doing? I have an eye on my competitors. I know exactly who they are. And maybe what we're going to do is work together. I know they watch me too. As in, they're watching right now. So look at their websites. Mystery shop them. Be professional if you're being mystery shopped. I think it's really important. After all, even coaches need coaches. And I am a coach of coaches. That's a good thing. So based on information you have gathered about your competitors, what improvements should you make about your business? And really what we're looking to do is we're looking to see what they're doing well and what they're not doing well. And we're looking to fill that gap. You might just be in an industry where there's a desperate need for it. I know that right now where I'm at, daycares are in desperate need. And if a daycare goes through the process of licensing, it's fast tracked, like literally next day inspections. Good luck in real estate to get that. But for daycares, it is. So know your industry really well. Let's talk about the simple days of selling. There are fewer competitors, fewer choices, low technology, low education, low information, low resistance, and it's really a lot easier to make a buying decision because who else in my little town is going to sell me what I need right now, right? Well, back then the seller had all the power and the buyer really had a few options. But since that time, there's something called a confidence gap, and it's a new paradigm shift in marketing. And what we realized is that this confidence gap really hurt the salesman. There was an entrepreneurial boom, increased technology, increased competition, more choices, increased information, increased resistance, longer buying cycles, price competition, products are commodities, identical marketing messages. You really can't identify who is what, when, who's any better than anyone else. Now the buyer had all the power and the sellers at the mercy. Well, we came up with something that would really help bridge that gap, and that's where our marketing message comes in. We're going to be talking about that pretty quickly. So let's show you a little bit of evidence about products. Frito-Lays. In the 1970s, there was only 10 Frito-Lays. There's 204 different variations of chips now. It's insane. Breakfast cereals, it went from 160 to 4,945. A lot more competition. I probably don't want to be a breakfast cereal, or if I want to really differentiate. And there's been some really great innovations in regards to breakfast cereals, funny enough. Pop-Tarts, 86. Soft drinks, toothpaste, mouthwashes, pain relievers, from 17 kind of pain relievers to 561. They're probably all prescribed. I say that because we all know that those companies give kickbacks to those people who prescribe it. That's a lot of business. That's a lot of pain relievers. That's a lot of pain. Shoe styles, contact lens types. I mean, guys can see there's a lot more competition. It's not just these small industries. It's our industries, whatever ours means. So let's talk about ineffective marketing strategies. So how do you let the market know about your business? Currently, right now, I want to know that. Do you collect and use testimonials? So we just identified a brand new target market for our client. They said, we already had 3 clients in there. I'm like, have you gotten testimonials? They're like, no. It's like, oh my gosh, you need to go get those testimonials because that'll help you break into the rest of the market. They're like, oh my God, that's a great idea. So sometimes it's the brainstorming that happens in our sessions that really matter. You didn't think about that. You didn't remember that, or you forgot about it. Can you create a media kit? Do you have prospecting tools, and do you use them? How do you use them? And one of the things that we do is we help you improve your copywriting skills. You're the person that knows the best about your business. You should be able to write about it too. We help you with that too. So this is our marketing. This is how we do it. It's I say it's very simple because I see it all the time, and it's all around you. You can actually see good marketing. And we have a full presentation that talks just about advertising and marketing. We have another presentation that talks just about sales. By the way, each of these 21 reasons are all broken out into their own separate in-depth sessions that we provide for you throughout the year. These sessions are never the same. They always improve. We don't repeat them. So this is the last one for this year. If you get the replay, you're lucky. So this is how we do our marketing. 3 problems everyone has when trying to get a loan for $50,000 to $2 million, and how First Commercial Bank overcomes them all. We've identified the major pain button. Small businesses that want a loan between $50,000 and $2 million. $50,000 and $2 million. How we overcome all those challenges. What we've identified is that most of those other lenders have too many hassles. Their turnaround times are too long, and they have hidden costs. Those are the hot buttons, and this is how we've identified them, and we've positioned it in such a way that we can give them a free report so they can evaluate everything that they need to know before going to any bank before asking questions. And you can phone in for that special report. Now, there's a whole bunch of processes. There's a sales process, a follow-up process, and a whole bunch of processes that I haven't shared with you in regards to that. This is the first step in the lead generation. So it's getting attention, engaging, educating, and making an offer or desire. So get attention, engage, educate, and offer. Or get attention, engage, educate, And again, make an offer. It's the same thing all over again. What is your headline? What's your subheadline? And how are you providing solutions? And what is your special offer? You guys make one marketing piece like that and send it over to me, and I'll critique it for you absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a single thing. I want to help you with this. This alone will make a difference in your business. So we had this bakery we were working with, and they're spending $450 a month on a local newspaper ad. And they weren't even making $350 back. So they were spending $100 on a local newspaper ad. And they were like, oh man, this sucks. Of course advertising sucks if you don't know what you're doing. So we went in and we did this process, and we followed our 4 elements of marketing. And what we did is we decided that we were going to give away a free eclair, because we were selling them for $1 to $1.50, and the cost of making them was between 10 and 15 cents. So we decided that we were going to run a gigantic promotion that for the first 30 people that come in, they're going to get a free eclair. Actually, it was between a time frame. Excuse me, it wasn't 30 people. It was a time frame between this time and this time. And they came on in, and they didn't expect droves of people coming in for their free eclair. But one of the things that we found out through our numbers earlier on, understanding the numbers, is what each client buys every time they come in. So they would come in and get an eclair, but the average transaction was approximately $7. And we created an upselling strategy to make it $10 to $12. So a couple loaves of bread, and by the way, here's an eclair, and oh, have you tried this or this? Well, we would give them just a piece. The good ones will give the free samples. Well, they went from getting 35 leads to over 400 leads with this ad on an ongoing basis. And you can imagine how much more money they were making with their ad. This is what we call a direct response marketing piece. So we want response based on it. Forget about advertising, guys. Costs a lot of money, and you are not a brand at this point. You can brand, yeah, but we say put your branding at the bottom. You don't lead with the most valuable real estate is this right here, and you got to get attention. Your brand, your business name, that is not the attention people are looking for. They want to know how you can help them, what you can do for them, what value they're going to get. Will you solve their problem? Will you help them make or do what they need to do to achieve their goals? So here's a couple other great headlines. Do you really want the lowest bidding temp agency to provide employees for your next company project? 6 closely guarded secrets about the mortgage industry revealed at last. We got a couple other ones. This is my favorite one. You've got the ugliest kids I've ever seen. That's exactly what they'll think when you get caught using the wrong photographer. It's awesome. You want to paint a picture with your headlines. And so every one of us is creative here. You can easily come up with some kind of hot button. What is the issue? What is the problem that people have? And you can create a headline on that. This one is a really good one. So they spent $450 on this as a fax blast. We can still do faxing in Canada here to businesses. They made $27,245 in 1 month from this one campaign. So announcing hands in your pocket, Smith maneuver, pay your mortgage in half the time, learn about the new technique and how to pay your mortgage and make it tax deductible. Stop paying exorbitant amounts of interest. So you can kind of get the idea. This is for one of our Calgary clients. We got a testimonial from this, obviously. This is a great one. So this is Paul. And Paul came to us with a system that he had created that he was able to go get other piano teachers to actually do this system and learn within 90 minutes. It's so his target market was other piano teachers that wanted to increase their overall lead base. This is the Yellow Pages ad. Well, and you should have seen the other one. This is great. You think this is ugly, but this absolutely got attention. And it got so much attention that he is now a multi-millionaire. I just called him a few years ago and talked to him, see what he was up to. He's in every state and province, and he's got hundreds of people that have licensed this, hundreds and hundreds of people that have licensed this from him that are teaching piano and generating new clients for piano. He broke the mold with this particular example. And that's after we did sales and marketing on it for him. So this number, the closing ratio, it's still holding true. Poor execution. Do you follow a system consistently? Do you maximize the resources you have to complete the necessary steps for achieving your goals? Do you have a backup plan in case your original plan didn't work? And these are the kind of questions that really, they're deep thinking questions. And if you're answering yes to each of them, then I'm pretty encouraged, very encouraged. And if you're answering no to them, I'm still encouraged, because you still have the opportunity, we're sharing with you right now, to build those actual systems. Inability to keep up with technological changes. So let's go to where that is. That is not technologically efficient. You need to become good at technology. It's that simple. You got to take the time. And I have to commend the generation that is older than me. I would say 55 plus, because the 55 plus guys that are here, they are good at technology. And they're the ones that are adapting sometimes even faster than the younger people. And I have to say hats off to you. But if you have not been keeping up to your technological skills, you got to figure out ways to do that. Like maybe get someone around you that has those skills that you can rely on. Maybe outsource that. Does your website increase sales, reduce costs, and improve customer service? So when we say number one is increase sales, that's the greatest strength you have right now, is to make a website that simply makes sales at first. You don't want a corporate website. You want what's called a lead gen website. It's a one-page website. You get that done. It's cost efficient. It's effective. It's easy. You get a headline. You get a sub-headline. You create a small little video, and you create a special report or an offer. That's where you start. You start making money on that, and then you build out each and every single page on a monthly basis if you're on a budget for a website. I know people that do exactly websites like that, and you should. It's great. It allows you to bootstrap the whole thing. Now, if you're a business that needs it up right away because the corporate website is what you need, not lead gen, that's a different story. But depending on what your needs are, we got to be making sales from the website. It's not just a placeholder. It's not there just to look pretty. And there's so many websites that just do nothing. Let's talk about leadership. The leader of an organization responsible for choosing its members, guiding and motivating them as they accomplish their goals. So your goal is to help other people achieve their goals. For an example, a good leader today wants to help me achieve my goals. I'm hoping that each of us here are leaders today, that we're stepping up, first of all, to lead ourselves and then the people around us for everyone's benefit. It's just, life is so much better that way. So do you do the following? Do you prioritize? Do you have a good ability to work with teams? Are you good at listening? Like one of the things that irks me is constant excuses as to why you couldn't do a certain thing on a certain time. I mean, I'm pretty flexible, but I notice if I hear constant excuses. And you should notice it too. So ability to work with teams, good listening skills, the ability to prioritize, the flexibility, culture creation, good communication skills, knowledge, the ability to motivate members, salesmanship, the ability to take risks, lateral thinking, and presentation skills. And this alone takes a lifetime to just develop. You've got to start developing it. If you haven't read The 1 Minute Manager, then that's probably a really good one to read, The 1 Minute Manager. I think I have a book review, a book report on that one. You guys can ask me for that if you guys want to reach out. We'll see who reaches out for that. So not knowing how to raise capital. And that is page number 19. So do you have accurate financials? I'm going to be asking you for those. You need to have it done. You need it done for taxes. You can't be the kind of person that is ultimately going to wait until the end of the year and just give a shoebox to your business, to your accountant or your bookkeeper. And then you're going to lose days and days and days because you didn't prioritize it and you didn't mark it down as one of those weekly things to do. It's a hard lesson to learn, guys, especially when you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on accounting. If you've never been audited, then let me tell you, you better be prepared. It's not a fun process. And then what they do is they make sure you're keeping honest the whole time. So it's better for you to just make sure you get it all done right away. Do you have a business plan, a marketing plan? And we're cycling back to the top. Do you know how to access funds via venture capitalists, government grants, or equity sales for the company? And what is the easiest way for you to raise capital? If you don't have the answers to these questions, okay, no big deal. But now you kind of have what the questions are. If you didn't know what they were before, you do now. So next, poor adaptability and economic changes. Describe the worst case scenario for you. For example, your business is devastated if, by the way, I have had the worst case scenario happen. I made it through. I had a plan. It worked. So today I came up with a little bit of a quote specifically for my daughter. And the quote goes like this. It says here, don't settle for the easy way out. Rise to the challenge. So I'm a dad and I have a daughter, and my daughter was trying to take the easy way out. And I said, don't take the easy way out. Rise to the challenge. It's great advice. Do it. What is your battle plan for the worst case scenario? I never want it to happen for you. Chances are it may not ever happen for you. But if it does, you'll have a plan. Are you a perfectionist? And I need to say to all the perfectionists here that if you are perfectionists, then you're going to have a problem working with me, because I aspire to perfection, but I understand that mistakes happen. And so I'd like for you to just, on the next page, count how many mistakes you see. And if you can count as many mistakes as you want, that's totally fine. And if you lose count, it doesn't really matter. Let's just find out. It's just an example here. According to market research, it doesn't matter in what order the letters of your marketing are. The only important thing is that your first and last letter be in the right place. The rest can be a total mess, and your clients will still understand your marketing message without a problem. This is because prospective clients don't read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole, your CMT team. If you're a perfectionist, wanting perfection from everything around you, you're going to have a hard time. It's called analysis paralysis. Sometimes you need to just get something out there. If you make a mistake, that's okay. Your next marketing piece will be corrected. It's happened. It's happened many times to me. I don't make a big deal out of it. There's other things that are a bigger deal than making a spelling error. And so let me encourage you guys that a lot of the professionals I work with depend on spell check, and spell check itself is not always perfect. So just get the message out there. Do your best, and then run it by someone like myself that can help you. That really does save a lot of time. You want to be able to write effective sales letters and scripts. And that's page number 21. So begin today by collecting sales and marketing information pieces. All of this right here would be a swipe file for you. Everything here is a swipe file. Every question's a swipe file. When we work together, guess what? This is what we're following. Step by step, by step, by step, by step. And it works. For people who work it, it works. And I work with the people who work it. But you need to start getting a swipe file. So start taking a look at other marketing people. Start taking a look at some good marketing online. Start taking a look at things that are not necessarily related with your business. Start collecting the marketing that comes in through the newspaper, and take a look at what's different following the marketing equation. Who's providing a special offer? Start looking at advertising and marketing in a brand new way. And then take those ideas and use them for yourself. Modify it as a template. That is the best advice that I can give you. Once I show people how to do this stuff, they're like, really, it's that easy? Yeah, it's that easy. Like, I can do that. Yeah, I know. That's what I want. I want you to do this. We need your success. So have you ever noticed mistakes in correspondence, ads, or marketing pieces? Great. Still, if it's following the marketing equation, you can still take action, because ultimately you make a decision based on the relationship you're buying with, not whether the spelling is good or not. Spelling mistakes happen. Printing errors happen. So let's go to lack of creativity. We're pretty close to being done, guys. Are your products and services original? Do your services offer something innovative? And all these questions are meant to spur your mind. When you answer these questions, you'll be surprised that those answers, when we look at those together, I will pull out the marketing pieces. You may not recognize that what you're doing is writing marketing at first. I guarantee that after we go through the process, you'll begin to recognize what is marketing. And then you'll be able to see and go through your own brainstorming process and your own creativity process. And then you're going to be able to create your business to that next level that you want. You're filling those gaps. So do you have suggestions from other members of your staff to create something unique? Take those ideas. Do you have all the necessary tools to back your ideas up? Sometimes you're a good idea person, but you have no way to actually follow through with the process. That's okay too. You just need different teammates that can help you with the follow-up process. Oh, look at that. Now we're talking about follow-up. Go figure. It's like I knew it was there. So that's page number 22. So I in my early days I do my best here, guys. We all do our best. Every single one of here do our best. I know this. Can we get better at it? Absolutely, we can get better at it. Resolve to yourself to become great at follow-up. I wanted to become good at follow-up, so I wrote a goal, a specific goal that I love follow-up. I'm amazing at follow-up. I love talking to people. And I'd look at that every single day. And I would say it. And I love following up. I see real results with follow-up. As a matter of fact, lead generation becomes so much better with follow-up. So contact your database at least every 120 days. Sometimes it costs you 8 times more to generate a new client. So following up allows you to build a relationship and bring a person through that process. Some of you may not be ready to buy today. Okay, when you are ready to buy, you're going to think, oh, Canadian marketing team, that's what I want. I want you to come to us first. Don't consider anyone else. Come to us. Give us the chance. We want to be on your trades list. We want to have that request for proposal. That's exactly what we want. For those who are ready, great. Let's get going. You can't wait. You need this now. You cannot wait another week, another day, and you don't want to make the mistakes that other people have made and not get the results that is on your goals list. Guys, it's hard to stay motivated. It is. There's 2 kinds of people out there. There's those sappers, the ones that are basically going to sap your energy, tell you it's not possible. Why should I or why should you? I try to never get employees like that. And if I'm working with, I'm pretty good at assessing personalities. And so there's certain personalities I just know that I walk away from because they're those sapper kinds. And I don't need a sapper. I want a zapper in my life. I want someone who is going to encourage me, uplift me, and make me better at what I'm doing today. I want someone that acknowledges that I'm pretty good at what I do, that I've spent the 70,000 hours necessary to become good at what I do. I want zappers. And by the way, you can tell I'm kind of a bit of a zapper. A number of you are still here. It's at the very end. It's good information you got. It's uplifting. It's actually making you happy because now you have an actual, if you think about it, marketing plan. Do you have written goals? Yes or no? Do you have a mentor? Yes or no? If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a coach, got to get one. They do absolutely. I have more than one. Right now, I've got like 3. Oh my goodness. It's wonderful. I've never been so challenged. Every single, I went to one of my mentors today and I was talking with them and they asked me, how's it going with this client? Because when he made a referral to one of his clients and I'm working for him, I said, the guy calls me a crazy guy. He phoned me up on Friday evening at 9:00. Yes, I'll pick up the phone if I'm working with you at 9:00. And he says, Odin, I just love what you're doing. He goes, you're a crazy guy like me. You're working at 9:00 at night. I'm like, well, of course. So you're calling me, man. You're my mentor. You're my coach. They're like, this is what I want. And he goes, man, I'm never letting you go. So it's just, and what I mean by that is he's my client as well as my mentor and my coach. So it's pretty darn amazing, the whole process. You need it. You can't live without it. It really makes a difference. Oh, there I am with Brian Tracy. It was one of my goals to hang out with Brian Tracy. So I got to pick him up from the airport. I spent the entire day with him. I went and watched him watched him in Nanaimo. I flew over with him. I got to ask him questions. It was amazing. You have to ask me about it in person, what it was like to hang out with Brian Tracy, because I absolutely have. It was awesome. By the way, Brian Tracy is, I think, considered the #3 public speaker in North America. I think Tony Robbins is #1. So fear of taking risks. What process do you follow right now to solve problems? In your decision-making process, do you always choose the safest option? And when opportunities present itself, do you grab it even when it may cause some unseen consequences? Remember what I said about the easy way. Sales and marketing, if you're new to it, it's a bit of a learning curve. The thing, though, is that learning curve really plateaus out and absolutely helps you within about 12 months. You can't get, look, without sales, you don't have a business. Without marketing, you really don't have a business. So you might as well spend the time, if you don't necessarily know it, knowing it. You're here today, you want to know it better. So we know it's hard to stay motivated and we need all the right tools. What I'm asking you to do is you need a swipe file for your business. Put that as a to-do, as a goal for you to have. You need time working with those tools, but let's face it, we can learn from mistakes as fast as we can learn from working with the correct methods. One of my clients, Phil, he goes, Odin, I've been on a plateau for the last 11 years, not able to hit that plateau. I'm like, okay, great. He goes, since I've been working with you, we broke that plateau. And I'm like, oh, great. He goes, oh, we're about 30 to 35% up from last year's sales. And we're poised to continue to grow with the initiatives we have in place. That's the correct methods. You need someone who's going to keep you on track and tell you the truth and not be afraid of it. This morning, I had a follow-up call from one of my clients, and instantly my body just reacted. And I realized that if this particular person was approaching people in that way all the time, that would probably turn their clients off. So what I would use it as an opportunity to coach. And an individual realized, whoa, I never knew that. I was like, yeah, instantly changing behavior, instantly getting better conversions. That's what you need. You need someone who's not going to be afraid to tell you what's up. So these are the 21 steps or the gaps. And this is where businesses fail. This is it. And your job is to fill those gaps. The way you do it is by setting goals to review each of these 21 steps over 21 weeks and then repeat. And you do one per week. That could be a good goal for you. That's a smart goal. That's a realistic goal. That's a time frame goal. You can do that. You get better at time management. You can put 15-minute time slots in. Absolutely, you can do that. There's no reason at all you couldn't do that. It's bad habits, perhaps, or maybe not prioritizing. There's nothing more important than setting up a system for your business so that someone else can do that system while you are making money. What's more important than that? Lack of knowledge, understanding the numbers. We've gone through all of this, guys. This is what we went through. But what brought you here? Maybe you got a new business or something has changed. Maybe you're in a new location, wanting to do something a little different. Maybe you're trading time for money. Oh, you've heard it all before, but maybe now it's time to actually do something about it. Are you doing it effectively? Is your business profitable as it could be? What's the next level? How quickly can you get there? Wayne Gretzky didn't become Wayne Gretzky overnight. And the #1 soccer player in the world is Canadian as of today. And I date myself. You'll be able to look back and see that. Female soccer player. Wayne and Tiger have a coach. It makes sense. So put yourself in the hot seat, guys. We're going to work out your baseline. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill out this document. If you don't fill out the document, it makes it a little more difficult for me to do the work to help you. What we're going to do is we want to help you get to where you need to be to double your profits and triple your referrals, to double your sales. We're going to ask you to watch another 45-minute video. And that video is everything that you know about marketing is wrong. And it's going to go right in to the whole marketing process. You're going to love the video. And then what's going to happen is we're going to send you the Strategic Sales and Marketing book. It's about 120 questions. We ask you to go through the process. It is absolutely time consuming. Don't think it isn't, but you want me to spend 45 minutes of my time with you for free, going through 3 to 8 ways to grow your business and increase your profits. And you should all be nodding your head saying, oh my gosh, this is a great offer. This is the first time we've made this offer, and I want you to prove to me that it works. Take the steps necessary. I want to help you create a bulletproof roadmap to outline your future success. There is a yellow card. I'm going to show you the yellow card, how you can take action. So we both find a suitable time to sit down. And I do have other coaches I work with, by the way, but I'm always involved. So I'm going to ask you to go here to the CanadianMarketingTeam.com/feedback. CanadianMarketingTeam.com/feedback. And let's go there together right now. Here we go. Perfect. So here we are. I'd like you to go to this page, put in the chat, fill out this information. Even if you're working with me, I need the feedback. I want the feedback. I have earned the feedback. So I want to know how you heard about us. I want to know your feedback. Say some good things. By the way, we can profile that in the next time we send a message out. We got so many testimonials, guys. Like, we got to actually put all our testimonials on one big long page and start sending it out because it's pretty darn impressive. 3 things you want to achieve by talking to us. I want to know what your takeaways are from today. Give me 3 takeaways, and we'll talk about that at the end. Also, what we have is we have some times at 9:30, 2 o'clock, and 3 or 3:30, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. 2 people you know that need to have this information. And of course, what we have is we want to make sure that you're a real person. So fill that out. It's really, truly that simple. If you do the work, I'll do the work. So this right here is the video. And what you're going to see is you're going to see on the Canadian Marketing Team, the video is going to come on the next page. Everything you learn about generating leads and growing your business is wrong. So remember, I'm creating systems. So my voice is not going to be there. I do certain things in our system. And that's what you want to see from the people that you're working with. Guys, we got done early. I want to thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to go scroll up here. I want you to put yourself on the hot seat, because I'll make you another deal. If you could just fill out the 21 reasons and email that to us, and I'll put my email. It's Odin, O-D-I-N, at CanadianMarketingTeam.com. That's my direct email. You can email me directly. Please don't abuse it. And what we'll do is we'll set up a time to work that list of 3 to 8 ways to grow your business, increase your profits. We'll do it in 45 minutes. And the way we say it is, you give us 45 minutes and guarantee we'll find you 3 to 8 ways to increase your business and earn an extra $10,000 or more without spending a dime more on marketing. And so what we want to do is we want to see your current ads and the current marketing that you're doing. We want to really, truly help you. And if you don't have anything, that's okay too. It's totally okay also. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this portion of the recording and say thank you everyone for being here today. Really do appreciate you. And I look forward to working with you on your business. Take care and good luck.